Come on in, my babies, and those that are as old as me, my dear brothers and sisters. I stand before you today, not just as a grandmother, but as a woman old enough to recognize when history starts repeating itself. I grew up hearing stories about Jim Crow, about poll taxes, segregated schools, denied jobs, and black communities being locked out of power. And now, little by little, I see some of those same patterns returning through executive orders, weakened civil rights protections, and court rulings affecting Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Many people think Section 2 is only about voting, but y'all, it is about far more than casting a ballot. Section 2 protects our ability to challenge unfair voting maps and systems that weaken black political power. When we lose representation, we lose our voice in decisions that affect everyday life. Representation affects school funding, hospital access, road repairs, housing, public transportation, business investment, clean water, public safety, and whether money flows into or around our communities. When black communities lose representation, we do not just lose elections, we lose protection. From the federal level down to the local level, these changes affect us all. At the federal level, many black families depend on government jobs, military service, postal work, transportation, healthcare, education, and federal contracts to build stable lives. For generations, federal employment was one of the few places where black Americans could find fair wages and opportunity when segregation shut doors elsewhere. Now we are seeing layoffs, attacks on diversity and equity programs, and weakened protections against discrimination. Some federal contractors are moving away from policies that once helped prevent segregation and unequal treatment in the workplace. And when civil rights agencies lose strength, everyday people lose support. The Civil Rights Division at the United States Department of Justice matters. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission matters. Because when discrimination happens in jobs, housing, schools, or policing, those agencies are supposed to investigate and enforce the law. If those protections weaken, working families suffer first. At the state level, weakened voting protections can reduce black influence over district maps, laws, and funding decisions. At the county and city levels, it can mean neglected neighborhoods, struggling schools, closed hospitals, poor infrastructure, and fewer resources reaching our communities. Many of these things have already been turned back in the last year. Jim Crow was never just about separate water fountains. It was about limiting opportunity, weakening black political power, and controlling access to jobs, education, and resources. That is why our ancestors fought so hard during the civil rights movement. Were not just about ballots. They were about dignity, protection, and having a seat at the table where decisions are made. Y'all, we cannot afford to sleep through history while it quietly repeats itself. We must teach our children civics, voting rights, and local government. We must attend school board meetings, city council meetings, and community forums. Because power is not only in Washington, power is local too. This is not the time for fear. This is the time for awareness, unity, and action. Our ancestors paid too high a price for us to stay silent while hard-won rights disappear piece by piece. May God give us wisdom, courage, and determination to protect the future for the generations coming behind us. Amen.